Manipur has been tackling a lot of problematic issues. And these problematic issues are like, for example, extortion. There was a press conference done on Saturday, and there's a press conference done here that the Manipur police is going after this rampant extortion issues. So let me go across to Mr. PK Mishra. We will take, one issue per round. So what do you expect in this meeting? What are your sources telling you, sir? You have served in Northeast. Yeah. What is your idea of the meeting, sir?
I have spoken to my sources and a lot of journalists, three journalists at Phubala, Chaudhryhat, at Churachandpur, and Imphal, at three places. I have spoken, one at Phubala, which is there in the buffer zone, so-called, we call it buffer zone, one at Churachandpur, one at Imphal. And all three of them. And I spoke to one, Mr. Hakib, one of my friends there in Churachandpur also. And I also spoke to my mighty friends and some ex-speaker also. I spoke Hemachandra, and all of them, they were, in fact, they got all surprised in the beginning when a lot of telephone calls went to all the all the ministers and MLAs, both of Kukis, Nagas, and Maitis to come for the discussion. All of them they have welcomed, and they were really. Praising these three Naga MLAs, that is Abang Namka and El Diko and Ram Viva, for their action for discussing with Kuki MLAs at Shillong and Calcutta and Guwahati. They have done their best. And I'm very sure, they were very sure also, all of them, they were telling Kuki MLAs, those who have been invited, they are participating and they are going. And it's the first time after 3rd May, Kukis, Nagas, and Meitei leaders are now facing each other and discussing the issue, that their own issue for bringing peace in Manipur under the same roof. And that is what they were praising Mr. Amit Shah for organizing this. What I came to know, definitely the MHA's version will be that is, coming of drugs, entry of drugs from Myanmar, poppy cultivation, and also this fencing in Myanmar border, and also to have dialogue between Kukis and Maitis with Naga MLAs to mediate in that. And it's very sure that this factor, the trust factor between Kukis and Nagas, that will be the main factor which will be definitely discussed in the meeting, the trust factor and getting peace in whole of Imphal. Of course, they will, Mighty will have their different version of that, okay, this separate administration for Kuki areas may not be possible, but MHA will definitely come out with the point of development of hill areas. That's the first thing. MHA has already agreed that we'll definitely
that's a very important point. I'd like to stop here. That's a very important point. Yeah. Because, when I spoke to two people today, obviously lawmaker, MLA, he said three things. And I had a very off-the-record conversation, but it stayed with me. And this is something which I would want others speak, and because you said it, and you said this, you have touched this issue, I would other people to come. He said one thing I would like to bring this to your notice, Karthike. He said, if you look at the population, for example, of Mizoram, if you look at the population in Arunachal Pradesh, and if you look at the central funding they get, the sort of central funding which should happen in the hill areas of Manipur is less than what Sikkim is getting, what Arunachal Pradesh is getting, 12,000, 15,000 crores, or for what Mizoram is getting. So one issue he picked up was the funding in the hill areas. The second issue he spoke about was, he said representation. He said, earlier, look how many MLAs from the Naga communities were coming in particular areas. He said, now our representation have gone down. So the second thing which clicked in my mind was, one, hill area funding, second, representation. And the third thing which I felt was the issue of 6th schedule. It came up because I know the territorial integrity is an issue which there can be in no discussion about, but 6th schedule is something which is available. So I immediately realized that these are the issues they are going to take up in the meeting. They're going to talk about